Do you ever hit the trail and feel broken halfway into your hike, where your legs feel like they're on fire, you're gasping for air on every climb, and it always leaves you feeling like death when you go hiking? I cannot allow for that any longer because I've been there, it sucks, and I know that it doesn't have to be that way. In this video, I'm revealing the exact system that we use here at 46 Outdoors to turn your occasional weekend hikers into full-fledged, confident mountain athletes. It's called the Mountain Strength Method, and it works. My name's James Appleton. I'm the founder and head coach here at 46 Outdoors, and I have helped hundreds of hikers and backpackers all around the country build the kind of strength and conditioning that actually translates to their performance on the trail. And now I'm pulling back the curtain to show you exactly how my clients train differently using the Mountain Strength Method, so that you too can hike stronger, hike longer, and be more confident when you're out on the trails. But before we dive in, you know the drill. Click that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any videos on how to get strong and fit for your hiking adventures. All right, let's dig in. At the end of the day, preparing my body properly to hike mountains is what opened the doors to the great outdoors in my life, and I want to see those exact same doors swung open for you too. So that is why I created the Mountain Strength Method, and it's built around these 4 pillars: foundational strength, elevation athleticism, trail endurance, and backpack strength. This is the Mountain Strength Method. Pillar number 1, foundational strength. Now, we call these the Mountain Strength Days. Now, there's one goal here: building total body strength that translates to the trail. And yes, total body, not just lower body, because climbing mountains and backpacking, it is a full body endeavor. I know your legs do most of the work, but realistically, your entire body has a role to play when you are on the trail. So let's get you strong top to bottom. Now, building this foundational strength is going to look the same whether you're training for hiking or for football, because the goal is to get you strong, period. Not just strong for a hiker. No. I want you strong, period. Because a strong body is a lot harder to break. And when you're 5 miles deep in the backcountry, that is no place to have your body break. So how do we do this? We do this by using movements like squats, deadlifts, presses, bench presses, and weighted carries, or any variation of any of those things, whether you're doing a back squat with a barbell, or single leg split squats with dumbbells, or trap bar deadlifts, or bench presses. Yes, attention hikers, stop skipping bench day. You need a strong upper body too. Strong shoulders are a must both in life and on the trail because, once again, a strong body is harder to break. So these Mountain Strength Days are the most important days of your training because you're building a strong, resilient body top to bottom. And then week after week, the goal is to progressively add more weight or more reps to the same movements. Yes, not switching things up constantly. Let's get strong at the same movements. How do we do this? We do it by using a big, scary word. It's this principle we call progressive overload. Now, don't tune out. I'm going to tell you exactly what that means. It's quite literal in nature. Progressive overload simply means that over time, aka progressively, you are forcing your body to do more, aka overloading, making it do more, which will make your body have to grow and have to adapt. This is how strength and muscle are built. Now, building this foundational strength in your training, it's important because it builds stronger muscles, stronger joints, tendons, and ligaments. Stronger muscles can output more, meaning leading to longer miles on the trail. You know, a strong back and a strong core, it's critical to actually carry that loaded backpack all day. It makes you less injury prone, right? We want to be safe when we're out there, and a strong body that's hard to break is a safer body. And it just sets the foundation for everything else. So here's what to do to build this foundational strength. I want you training 2 to 3 times per week. Train with heavy compound movements or the many variations of each. Remember, your squats, your deadlifts, your bench press, your overhead press, and my honorary movement and probably favorite exercise, the weighted carry. And then week after week, you will progressively overload the weight or the reps to increase your strength. And I like to have my clients do 3 to 4 sets of each movement, not counting the warm-up sets, and they lift in that 5 to 10 rep range. Now, this works very well for strength, especially for your needs out on the trail. And training in this rep range, the weight should feel heavy. Ideally, you want to finish the set where you could have done 1 or 2 more reps, maybe. That's called reps in reserve. That's kind of the sweet spot, that 1 to 2 reps in reserve. Because remember, if you choose a weight that you could have lifted for, let's say, 15 reps, but you stop at 10, well, you're not really making your body work hard enough to warrant change. And this is probably one of the biggest issues most hikers have when they train, is they don't actually train enough to force your body to grow. You're not lifting heavy enough to warrant change. But that won't be a problem for any of you watching this video anymore, right? You guys are going to be strong and fit and ready for the challenge. Speaking of being strong and fit and ready for the challenge, meet Gail from Georgia, one of my one-on-one clients. Gail came to me because she noticed her body couldn't hold up to the hikes that she wanted to do, and more specifically, she was preparing for a backpacking trip on the Pinoti Trail. Now, Gail was very consistent in the gym. Her training consisted, however, of mostly cardio and low weight, super high rep training. Sets of like 20 to 30 reps with very light weight. Not the way to get stronger. It's really just the way to put a lot of wear and tear on your body and your joints without any actual strength. But after 12 weeks of focused strength training with us, where we implemented the mountain strength method into her training, we added weight on the machines and the right movements for her goals, she absolutely crushed her hike on the Pinoti Trail, and she felt stronger than ever while doing it, and that includes even doing 20-mile days. Oh, and Gail is 66 years old, by the way. What's your excuse? But that is what building a strong foundation will do for you. It sets you up to have stronger adventures, just like it did for Gail. Pillar number 2 of the mountain strength method, elevation athleticism. We call these elevation days. These are hybrid strength and conditioning days. So the first day we're building strength. Now we're going to build strength and conditioning at the same time. So think circuits using your body weight and even dumbbells. The goal here is to build athleticism. Yes, to have the ability to move your body like an athlete and to be agile and flowing when you're on the trail. You're not robots. You're hiking in the backcountry where the terrain is uneven. You're maneuvering your body over boulders and under blowdown. And if you're hiking here in the Northeast, you're pulling yourself up by roots on the side of steep slabs. You want to be agile and be able to move. Now, don't let body weight training fool you, though. A lot of people think it's easy. It's not easy because most of the time you can't move your body like an athlete, which is what makes a lot of these body weight movements quite challenging. For most of my clients, I'd say these days are actually the hardest days because it forces you to reclaim that lost athleticism, because people don't really intentionally move like an athlete in everyday life. You have to be intentional about that, and that's what we're going to build with these sessions. So this elevation athleticism pillar matters because it's going to mimic the real demands of mountain climbing. You're going to build an anaerobic conditioning, which is necessary for those steep elevation gains. Hence its name. You're going to build strength and you're going to build conditioning at the same time. That is very important for hiking because you're using the strength of your legs and your body to power you up the mountain, but you're also doing it while you're huffing and puffing. So you're going to build both of these things at the same time. And you're going to improve your agility, you're going to improve your control over your body, and ultimately your power out on the trail. All very important things. So what to do for these elevation days to build this athleticism? I want you to do body weight circuits or dumbbell circuits, but things that keep your heart rate elevated. Include movements like step-ups and jump squats and lunges and push-ups and mountain climbers and burpees. Create circuits for yourself where you're going from one to the next, to the next, to the next. You're doing a lot of work with each movement, and then you go on to the next one. And over time, your entire body is working top to bottom, and you're breathing heavily, but every muscle is going to be working, and you're doing this in a way that has you moving like an athlete. Now, get creative with your circuits. Keep them very mentally stimulating. However, if you are short on time, this is what I want you to do. I want you to pick 3 or 4 movements and do 10 reps of each movement. Set a timer for however long you have. You got 8 minutes? Great. Set a timer for 8 minutes. You got 12? Set a timer for 12 minutes. And complete as many rounds of that circuit as possible in that time frame. You are going to be shocked at how hard and how much you can sweat in just those 8 or 12 minutes. Trust me. Speaking of elevation days, meet Erin from New Hampshire, another one of my one-on-one clients. She absolutely hated these days in her training program because they revealed a major flaw in her ability. But she kept showing up, She kept getting better at these movements week after week, everything from burpees to jumping lunges to jump squats to push-ups, everything. And now she's out on the Appalachian Trail absolutely crushing 18 mile after 18 mile after 18 mile day, high elevation gains in the Shenandoahs, and they're not nearly the struggle for her that they used to be because she's built the ability to handle them, to scale that elevation, and to maneuver her body, while wearing a heavy loaded backpack, might I add, up these mountains. She now understands why these days matter. Oh, she's also lost 20 pounds in the process to preparing herself to get out on the trail. So for all you ultralighters, you know, it's a really cheap way to lower the weight of your pack. Lower the weight off your body. Boom. That's a freebie. Next, pillar number 3, trail endurance. Here in the Mountain Strength Method, we call these approach days. What are approach days? This is your zone 2, zone 3 cardio sessions to build that aerobic capacity for these long days on the trail. Anaerobic capacity for your elevation days, aerobic for your trail endurance. That zone 2 or 3 is a heart rate level where you're breathing heavier, but you can still, maintain conversation with like varying levels of difficulty. And yes, we need strength, but of course, we also need to be conditioned so that we can handle those long days on the trail with that elevated heart rate. Now, these training sessions, the goal is simple. You're training your heart. Bicep curls train your biceps. Approach days train your heart, which is also a muscle. Now, why does trail endurance matter? Because strength alone doesn't quite cut it if your legs and your lungs can't also carry you where you're trying to go. Everything needs to be strong, including your heart. These trail endurance days build the ability to go long distances without needing constant breaks. And these days help you find that forever pace on the trail. I believe the best hiking pace is going as fast as you can go, but as slow as you need to go so that you never have to stop. Constantly having to stop just slows everything down. You're better off finding that pace, maintaining it for as long as possible, and just go. Let that pace rip all day long. That is your best hiking pace. And on these approach days, that is the pace that you're trying to recreate. So grab that pen and paper. Here's what you're going to do. 1 to 2 times a week, do whatever steady state cardio that you can tolerate. Run, hike, bike, elliptical, stair stepper, rower, whatever. Just find that forever pace where you can still maintain a conversation, even though it's challenging to do it and you're still pushing yourself. We're not talking lollygagging. We're talking an elevated heart rate, but one that you can still talk. Then I want you to maintain that exact pace for 30 to 60 minutes. You don't need to go much more than that. You'll be good with that. Now let's talk conditioning. Meet Patrick. Patrick worked with me both in my one-on-one Seek to Do More program and my group Great Range Athlete program. He got insanely fit and strong, and when he finally started training with the right amount of everything, strength and conditioning combined, that is when Patrick became absolutely unstoppable out on the trail, doing big days in the mountains day after day after day. He now had the right amount of everything in his training because that's important. We cannot leave any stone left unturned. And when you do that, that's when life starts to look different when you head into the backcountry. Pillar number 4, backpack strength. We call these the backpack days or your ruck day, whatever you want to call it. What is it? It's time on your feet carrying a loaded backpack. Walk, hike, whatever. What other sport involves putting major miles on your feet while you're wearing a fully loaded backpack? Nothing? So this is our sport, so this is what we need to train for. These days are designed to improve your tolerance wearing your backpack and getting those miles on your feet. Nice and simple, very impactful. So why do backpack strength days matter? You're strengthening your traps, your shoulders, your core, your hips, and your legs under a very realistic load, meaning the backpack, meaning what you're going to be doing when you're out on the trail. You're also going to build that mental resilience and muscular endurance for the exact purpose of hiking. That's what we're here for. And it's going to make that backpack feel nice and light on the trail because we're going to load that pack up on these ruck days heavier, yes, heavier than your normal hiking backpack. So here's what to do. Once a week, I want you to strap on that backpack. Again, make sure it's heavier than what you usually hike with. If you normally your backpack is 15 pounds, great, make it 25 pounds. If you want to be a badass and make it a 40-pound pack, do it. The heavier the pack is, the lighter it's going to feel eventually when you get out on the trail. So I want you to start with like a 45 to a 60-minute ruck, and over time, build up the distance, build up the time that you're out there and the weight in your backpack. Just like your strength days that we talked about, progressively overloading your pack and getting that time on your feet, you want to keep building week after week after week. Longer, faster, more weight. Ultimately, move fast. So that way when you get out on the trail, you're able to move fast, your pack feels light, and all of a sudden you feel unstoppable when you hit that trail. That's what it's all about. In our Great Range Athlete program, every Saturday is Ruck Day. It's always awesome to see where people are taking their backpack, whether it's in the woods or it's walking down their neighborhood. Whatever they're doing, they're preparing themselves for the trail. That's ultimately what it's all about. Now that you know the pillars, here's how we structure the Mountain Strength Method weekly into our coaching programs. So whether you're in one of our one-on-one coaching in our Seek to Do More program, or you're inside our Great Range Athlete group, we program every week using these 4 pillars. And I have found the most optimal training split is a 5-day-a-week training split. Yes, 5 days a week. And this is how it looks. 2 mountain strength days, 1 elevation day, 1 trail endurance day, what we call the approach day, and 1 backpack day. Now, obviously, you have to break this down however you can best do it, but ultimately, that is the most optimal approach that I have found. And just make sure that each week you are following that principle of progressive overload. So week after week after week, you're trying to lift a little bit more weight, trying to run a little bit more distance, trying to put a little bit more weight in your backpack, trying to move a little bit faster on the elevation workouts. Just keep progressing it more and more. You have to force your body to adapt and get stronger. Otherwise, you're not actually training. You're just working out. Because working out is just random. You're just doing random movements. Training is intentional, and that's what we do. We are training for strength with a system that adapts so that you finally build that strength and ability on the trail. Think of training like making s'mores. We all love s'mores around the campfire, right? We're all hikers, right? When you're making a s'more, if you put the marshmallow in the fire like a savage, it lights on fire and becomes a black glob of gross. That's like going way too heavy, way too often. But on the flip side, if you hold that marshmallow 2 feet from the actual fire, it's never going to actually get warm and become an awesome, delicious s'more. That's the same thing as lifting weight where you're never actually challenging yourself. You want to lift heavy enough weight that it challenges you and you can only do 1 or 2 more reps before you would have failed. That's how you put that marshmallow near the flame so it feels the heat of the flame, but not the actual flame itself. Think about making a s'more the next time you go to the gym. Make sure the weight's heavy enough to warrant change. And the outcome you can expect when you implement the Mountain Strength Method into your training, a trail-ready, stronger than ever body that is more prepared for the backcountry than ever before. You're going to hike longer, you're going to recover faster, and you're going to carry that backpack well. You're going to show up stronger on the trail and off. But building strength in the gym, it doesn't just help you become stronger in the mountains. You're going to become stronger in your mindset. You're going to become stronger in your habits. You're going to improve how you show up in the world every single day. Because training, it's just like hiking. Training isn't just about hiking, and hiking isn't just about pretty views. It's about way more than that. Every mountain you climb, you come down a different version of yourself. Training is exactly the same thing. These are bigger picture concepts, but training in the gym, it's the lowest hanging fruit to actually improve the quality of life that you have on the trail and off. I believe the gym and the trail, they transform you into a stronger version of yourself, and they certainly did for me, and I'm positive if you implement the Mountain Strength Method into your training, they will do the exact same thing for you. So if you're ready to stop second guessing and start training like a true mountain athlete, I'd love to help you. Click that link below to book a free strategy call and see which coaching path is best for you. Whether it's my customized one-on-one coaching or my group coaching, we'll get you on the right plan that fits your budget and your needs so that you can build real mountain strength. Now, if you want to see how I break down a mountain strength day in full detail, here's that video right here. Watch that, learn that, take note. Click that like and subscribe button, leave a comment about what you want to see me tackle next to help you get fit and strong for your outdoor pursuits. I'll see you on the trails.